your forecast first. Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Our temperatures continue to fall this evening. Now, a lot of us are in the lower 30s. Still, though, a couple of middle and upper 30s left over. But actually, overnight tonight, thanks to a slow clearing trend, we'll actually be able to drop down into the middle 20s for our overnight lows. It's 33 degrees in Champaign right now, as well as in Watseka, Danville as well, Bloomington too, 36 in Petersburg, Paris, 37 in Mattoon. And again, like I said, there is going to be a slow clearing trend that we'll see on our Bratcher weather camera on our Roofing Dog iNet. We've got our winds that are out of the north still up to around 15, 20 miles per hour. So still is a noticeable breeze out there helping to cool us down. We're going to see more sunshine for the day tomorrow, but it will be a cool Saturday with temperatures only able to get into, in most spots, the lower 40s. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
We must enact an immediate stay-at-home order.
More changes in the state's fight to slow the spread of coronavirus as the governor is now requiring non-essential workers to stay home.
I don't think any of us have ever been through anything like this at all.
Plus, people are preparing for the next 2.5 weeks, what some are doing to get ready. And chalk isn't just for blackboards, how some are using it to get outside.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Until the end of April 7th, all our residents will be subject to a stay-at-home order.
Governor Pritzker detailed that executive order today, impacting more than 12 million people in Illinois. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. This order goes into effect tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Only essential workers and businesses will be allowed to remain open. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield tonight. Mark, a lot of workers, a lot of companies want to know what this means for them and their jobs.
Jessica, good evening. Frontline workers at hospitals, drug stores, at grocery stores, in manufacturing facilities, all of them will be instructed and will be allowed to stay open. In fact, the governor's office has compiled a complete list up on our website. You can see it now with all of the different lines of work and industry they consider essential. For everyone else, they got a stunning and unprecedented order from the governor.
All non-essential businesses must stop operating.
Governor J.B. Pritzker issued this executive order Friday afternoon. It lists prohibited activities, bans groups of 10 people or more from meeting outside of a private residence, and takes effect Saturday at 5 p.m. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
This is not a lockdown or martial law.
Elected officials debunked false rumors of the National Guard enforcing the order to stay at home. The few dozen guardsmen that have been deployed are working on medical projects. But people who refuse to comply with the order could still face consequences from local police.
I've instructed law enforcement to monitor for violations and take action when necessary, but that is not an option that anyone prefers.
Dr. Emily Landon is the lead epidemiologist at the University of Chicago, one of several medical experts advising the governor on what's at stake in a global pandemic.
And so it can be very confusing as to why schools are closed, restaurants are shuttered, and now the virus is taking what's left of our precious liberty.
Dr. Landon said there is not much slack in the medical system now, with hospitals already near capacity and short on supplies. She laid out in stark terms what could happen if a surge of patients sick with the coronavirus flood the medical system.
There won't be a hospital bed when my mother can't breathe very well, or when yours is coughing too much.
Experts expect the number of known cases to continue to rise in the coming days as more tests are administered and more results returned. Until then, millions of people in Illinois live under a new normal, however anticlimactic it may seem now.
Because it's really hard to feel like you're saving the world when you're watching Netflix from your couch. But if we do this right, nothing happens. Yeah. A successful shelter in place means that you're going to feel like it was all for nothing. And you'd be right. Because nothing means that nothing happened to your family. And that's what we're going for here.
We reporters are included in that list of essential workers and will stay on the job as well, even as many of us are working remotely and from home and keeping our safe and social distance from our own coworkers and the subjects of our reporting through this. The reason I mention that is because we continue getting a flood of calls and questions about what this means for you at home. We're working through much of that. You'll see those resources and answers to many of those questions up on WCIA.com. One big one, the governor's office clarifying for us tonight, churches can continue holding services, but they note many have started to do so remotely using live stream technology. Again, the order is no one can meet in groups larger than 10 outside of a private residence. Again, this goes into effect tomorrow night at 5. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Certainly a lot of changes happening over the weekend, Mark. Thank you. The governor also said this order pushes back the earliest date students could return to the classroom.
I wish I could stand up here and tell you when your schools will safely reopen, but that is not an answer that I have at this time. We're postponing our tentative reopening date statewide until April 8th, and we'll continue to update you with new information as we have it.
And we'll keep you updated with that information as well. Here are some other places that will remain open during this stay-at-home order. Just a few for you. They include hardware stores, laundromats, hotels and motels, and restaurants. But of course, you can't dine in at restaurants right now. We have the governor's full executive order, including a list of what's considered essential on WCIA.com.
As waves of government mandates roll out amidst the coronavirus pandemic, people are adjusting their daily lives to comply. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen joins us now. So, Jennifer, how have people in central Illinois been responding to this?
Paul, I talked to a lot of people at grocery stores today because there has been a constant influx of people there recently. Many of them were preparing themselves for a time like this when we're all asked to stay indoors and self-quarantine.
This is just totally unprecedented.
The news of Governor Pritzker's stay-at-home mandate was met with mixed reactions from people in central Illinois.
I'm totally shocked. I don't think any of us ever been through anything like this at all.
The governor says that grocery stores and other essential businesses will stay open throughout the stay-at-home order. This mandate comes as the number of coronavirus cases continues to rise.
I don't come to this decision easily. I fully recognize that in some cases, I am choosing between saving people's lives and saving people's livelihoods. But ultimately, you can't have a livelihood if you don't have your life.
Efforts to stop the spread of this deadly virus are rapidly evolving, but that hasn't stopped essential organizations like the Eastern Illinois Food Bank from staying open as an exemption to the stay-at-home order.
With all of the closures and the changes to people's employment, that more people are going to be in the position of being food insecure in the weeks and months ahead.
While some will head to the food banks, others have been crowding the grocery stores. Shoppers like John Martin have been noticing a trend in people's behavior when shopping.
People are not quite so courteous. We was just in another store a while ago, and people were just running over each other.
Governor Pritzker has a message of reassurance for people during this time.
You'll still be able to leave your house to go to the grocery store to get food. You'll still be able to visit a pharmacy, go to a medical office or hospital, or to gas up your car at a gas station.
The government is asking everybody to take extra precautions during the coronavirus pandemic and do what you can to help yourself and others.
Plan on staying home tomorrow and just not doing nothing. It has to be everybody. We all have to be in this thing together.
Along with this mandate, the governor stressed the importance of not crowding into the grocery stores and hoarding food and supplies. He said it's important to get only what you need because everybody is in need of the same things at this time. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Yeah, that last point's a great one. I went to multiple stores today just looking for diapers for my toddler, and I can tell you that especially in produce sections, just shelves were empty at stores. So I don't know if people are listening to that hoarding warning, but yeah.
important to keep others in mind as well as yourself during this time.
Absolutely. Some great advice tonight. Jennifer, thank you. Well, manufacturers in Central Illinois are doing their part to keep their employees safe. Workers at HL Precision Manufacturing in Champaign make medical equipment used in diagnosing coronavirus. They also work in the defense industry, oil and gas sectors too. Those are all considered critical manufacturing, and while staying open, they're doing their part to protect people on the job.
We have also rotated our lunch and breaks to limit the number of people gathering in break stations at a given time. Obviously, we've significantly increased personal hygiene stations and opportunities.
They also have workstations that are spaced about 20 feet apart.
The governor's order says planes and any other form of travel should only be used for essential purposes. Willard Airport in Savoy will remain open during all of this. But while still open, this could affect previously booked flights coming up in the next few months. Willard's executive director says cancellations are a possibility, and passengers are recommended to constantly check with individual airlines on their flight status as the pandemic continues.
Airport has seen a drastic reduction in passengers. Our normal operating load factors are around 80% across the board, and currently we're operating more at around 10 to 15% load factors. So 10 to 15% of the planes are full leaving our airport.
Willard usually has about 16 total arrivals and takeoffs per day with American Airlines. They've had one complete flight reduction so far, and the executive director says more cuts are likely to happen as more flights get canceled.
Our Target 3 team uncovered accusations about one county's efforts to ward off coronavirus. The Piatt County State's attorney is suing the county board. She claims the board chairman blocked the county's ability to buy additional health care and cleaning supplies. Board chair Ray Spencer is already facing charges of forgery and official misconduct. Now, State's attorney Dana Rhodes says Spencer told the county's EMA director to stop buying supplies and to quit talking to media. She also claims the plans to implement a countywide emergency notification system were halted because the county board failed to pay for it. Spencer's attorney has not commented yet. You can read the full story on WCIA.com right now. Federal tax day is officially delayed to July 15th, but Illinois' filing deadline has not changed. The president made the announcement today. We reached out to the State Department of Revenue, which said no decision's been made about Illinois' deadline. Tax refunds are expected to be on time.
Officials are warning people about coronavirus scams. They say scams include fake treatments, people claiming to sell medical supplies, charities, and fake apps designed to track the virus. They say you should be wary of unsolicited emails, and you should independently verify that posts and emails are authentic. You should also research any charities or crowdfunding websites.
School closures mean some seniors won't be able to show off their hard work, how a few were able to take the stage in a different way. Plus, the governor says take a walk, how some took advantage. And canceling the season was a big blow to Illinois softball because they won't be able to host the Big Ten tournament. Now, their coach is trying to look on the bright side.